In a recent video, I talked about the income, about making incomes equal and why it doesn't work. And one of the reasons was that rich people have become rich because they desired a certain lifestyle, and so they worked and they put themselves in a position to attain the lifestyle that they desired to live. And of course, if you take away what a man has earned, he won't continue to earn at the same level and simply allow you to take that money away from him, but he will produce the incentives that you ask for, and that is he will stop working hard enough to create that wealth. Well, I can already hear the arguments from the socialists and those on the left in this country combating and trying to refute my claim by saying that the rich aren't rich because they work or anything, work hard, or they're smarter or more ambitious than us. And this is a common tactic used by the socialist interventionists in this country, and that is they attack the rich for being rich, and they lump them in to undesirable categories. So hopefully we will all hate them as much as they do, and then we will support robbing them of their wealth in order to transfer it over to the people that they desire to have it transferred to. And the common complaints we hear against the left, or I'm sorry, against the rich, the first one you always get is that, well, they make their money by exploiting the lower classes. And so we all start out with this premise of hatred towards our fellow man, and these rich people have thought about how to hate their fellow man enough that they finally figured out how to take advantage of their fellow man. Well, even with the freedoms that we retain in this country, it's impossible for a man to exploit anybody, and I'll tell you why. Everybody's free to do what they want. No one is forced to buy anything that they don't want, for the most part. Nobody is certainly forced to be employed in a manner that they'd rather not be. Employment and consumption are, for the very most part, voluntary actions. And so if a man wants to make a profit, he can only do so by first offering something that somebody wants to buy. He cannot force something on somebody. And the second thing is, he has to employ workers that are willing to exchange their labor for the price he's offering to make that product. If he wants to pay $5 an hour, well, he's doing a favor to anybody that takes that $5 an hour. Well, $5 an hour doesn't sound like a lot of money, you say. As a matter of fact, that's below the new proposed minimum wage. How could you say that he's doing them a favor? Well, nobody takes their second best option in life. When presented with two options, everybody takes the option that is best for them. So if they have voluntarily taken a job paying $5 an hour, that means the next best option for them is something worse. Nobody takes the second best option. So whether you're making 25 cents an hour or $25 an hour, you're taking the best option that is available to you. Now, if you think you have another option available, you shouldn't be working for that $5 an hour. You should go get the job that will pay you what you're really worth. But if you go to 2 or 3 jobs and they all offer to pay you about $5 an hour, there's a good chance that that is what your value in the labor market is. So that's the first point. They're not exploiting anybody. They're giving people an option that is better than the next best thing that that person has available to them. Second thing we always get is that they're lucky. They don't really earn this money. They get lucky. Or you know, they have it gifted to them. They were lucky in the gene pool. Well, thank goodness. Thank God we live in a country where if you are lucky enough to discover something great and to stumble over something great, there's an incentive to bring that thing to the market and take the payoff. You know, Goodyear, if I'm not mistaken, discovered his tire rubber by accident. Okay? Bill Gates may have come upon his idea for Windows by accident. But you know, coming up on an idea by accident doesn't guarantee a man to be a very wealthy man. There are people that have made a lot more amazing discoveries than Bill Gates did, and have made a lot less money on them. For these guys to sustain the wealth the way they have, there has to be some skill and innovation and ambition and entrepreneurship on their part. I think we're doing them a little bit of a disservice to say that they could maintain their business status in the business environment, in the competitive business environment that exists in this country, without having a little bit of knowledge on their own. And then the last thing is that, what do these people do with their money? You know, they're greedy. They're just going to hoard it away. Well, who are you? Who are you to sit around and think, first of all, that they're going to sit around thinking about exploiting you? Nobody cares enough about you to exploit you, to sit around and think about how they can exploit you. And who are you to tell somebody else what they can do with their money? That's the premise. I want one socialist to tell me that their premise doesn't involve at least 2 things, and that is hating other people, and second of all, assuming that you know better for someone else than that person knows for themselves. I challenge any socialist to explain to me how their concepts do not involve one of those 2 premises. Who are you to determine what a man is doing with his money? How do you know if a billionaire doesn't give away his money? How do you know if a millionaire doesn't support 5 family members? Or how do you know if that man running that business, that successful business, doesn't have a mother that he's paying hospital bills out the wazoo for? How do you know he didn't write a check to his church? Who are you to tell somebody what they can do with the product of their own labor and the reward of their own intuition and their innovation and their ambition? Who are you? You have no claim upon the money of someone else. So that's just it. You know, maybe these people are more upset with their own lack of achievement than they are with the achievement of these people. Maybe that's why they're always trying to knock down those above them. But I think Woodrow Wilson was the one that said, you can never expect to elevate the poor by knocking down the rich, or something to that effect. And it's truer now than ever.